Koki, you're a citizen of Georgia who walked from Brussels to Kiev. It's more than 2,000 kilometers. What
Yes.
inspired you for this trip?
Inspired, of course, this war. Can I explain so about when we speak about Russia, they are everywhere are the same problems. They send some zombie viruses, and I will explain. This is about mystic to the places, and then give them arms and money. Then begin some resistance, and then they call this self-determination. Is everywhere, also in my country, and that's why my country was occupied not only once.
We will talk about it later, but now, how did you end up in Brussels? Because you were born and raised in Georgia.
I flied with airplane
Why?
in Brussels.
Why? Did you
Why
decide?
Brussels?
Yeah.
Because there is Euro Parliament, and now I say that I am going from Western to Ukraine because now Europe should go to Ukraine for this war to win Ukraine against this zombie nation. At the moment, the name of this movement is Zombie Nation because the symbol Z means, I say this, Zombie Nation, and not Ukraine need denazification, but just world and Russia need the Zombie Nation from this evil.
And when was your flight to Brussels?
It was 23rd of May, but I began movement on the 26th of May because it's Independence Day of Georgia. I have learned this in Ukrainian too, and if you are interested, I want to say this in Ukrainian language. Я приехал 26 травня и был 24 серпня в Киев. Скажу, сьогодні я українець. Я не українець, але сьогодні кожна чесна людина українською.
Why did you decide to leave Georgia? What happened? And at what point?
No, it all the time will be. I am,
Сейчас сделаем.
okay, but I am so emotional person. All the time will come and come. When I was in the army, my instructors thought that I was swimming somewhere in the river, but no, this isn't river. This is sweet. When I work out, maybe 5 liters, I lose.
Okay. Why did you decide to leave Georgia? What happened?
So after beginning this war, I had my job. I was studying, and I quit from job. I stopped studying. Then I starved 5 days in front of Parliament, and I performing there, boxing in the air 10 hours, and then I came here because this is not just a war. This is not just a war between two countries. This is a war of fairness and unfairness, and I can't live normal when there is happening so terrible things, and my own government is not helping Ukraine enough. This is the main problem in Georgia. I will explain this also, but I'm following now your questions.
At what point did you decide to undertake this journey from Brussels to Kiev?
At what point? So at the beginning, I decided to join this combat because my uncle is also died there in Battalion Azov, and I also wrote to International Ukrainian Army. And in first days, they told me, you come to Lviv and we will take you. But then they told me we need only people who have war experience. And the second problem was that after some days, my government stopped volunteering from Ukraine embassy, and also I saw my government is not supporting Ukraine as I wish. That's why then I changed my decision and I decided not to join just the combat, but I decided to fight against my government. And with this movement, I'm trying just to create some emotional charge for Georgian people to fight against government, because nobody loves Russia, everybody hates Russia, but there is big problem. They also hate oppositional party national movement. And there exists big propaganda that everyone who speaks against government, he or she is Nazi, so-called. This means a member of national party. And that's why this is a caste cycle and people can't change anything. You can't say anything against government. You are Nazis and people hate you. That's why I decided this crazy thing. I know this is unbelievable. What the politics this is going by foot. But I say, people, I am not Nazis. I am just normal guy. I'm speaking from streets. I live in my tent, and I gather people. Just one person, everybody here in Georgia, and we should create something new political platform to have a possibility to change this situation, this cursed political situation in Georgia. And every day I made some emotional and also some philosophical videos where I speak about these problems.
But this is your general motivation. And if you are talking about the point when you decided that you will go in this trip, a long trip, 2,000 kilometers, if we believe to Google, it says that it takes 70 days without stopping.
Not 70, it's 90 days between independence days of Georgia and Ukraine. Just 19 days. I like football, and 19 days like 90 minutes it was for me. Is what you were asking now?
I'm asking about this moment when you decide that you will make this trip. What happened?
So it's very private for me. So I was thinking to combat this war, but then I told already two reasons that they needed only war experienced people. Second reason, I saw my this government. I wished support Ukraine more. And third reason is just that my father died this February, and then my decision changed because then I took some money from this, and then I had some money to do something ideal for this, and it's very private for me, but you just asked, I just answered.
So technically, how was your journey? How long did it take to get here?
Just 19 days.
19 days?
19 days. So I began in Brussels, then through Netherlands, Germany, Poland. Then from Poland, I returned by bus to Berlin because there Georgian immigrant people made some protest action against racism on the 6th of August. 6th because it was Sunday, but the occupation day of Georgia is 7th August, and that's why I returned to Berlin from Poland. Then I returned back to Poland and continued my way. And on the 7th of August, occupation day of Georgia, I was on the border of Ukraine and Poland, and I continued this way.
What people did you meet during your trip?
In Ukraine,
along all the way.
So before Ukraine, there were normal people who most of all supported me, but they were not so close to me because I am just wearing Ukrainian flag, and they don't think that I'm doing something crazy thing because they think I am just an Ukrainian person. And some people had aggression that why are not you in combat? But I don't listen to this. I felt this from their eyes. But very few people. Most of them were also supporting me, but in Ukraine changed everything. I couldn't imagine how positive, how friendly, how warm they are. Even in 2 days, I understood why Ukraine this war sure win, because they are very big hurt in Ukrainian people and very warm. And now I say it is so that Ukraine is yearning to the values of Western world, but I am sure that after this war, Ukrainian will be example and will give another world other values what are missing in the world. This is warmth, this is love, and this is hurt also. And I'm trying that also my country, Georgia, in this big era of values, say his strong word.
And we will talk about Georgia later, but now I want a few more things about your journey to ask. I have a few more things to ask. Did you participate in some events, maybe meetings or like some?
Yes, I told about Berlin. I began with Düsseldorf. So at once I entered Germany. It was based on Navalny. It's not so important who is Navalny, but I know that Russian people, because of Navalny, were gathered And the Russian people had protest against Putin. They called Slava Ukraina, is Freiheit for Russland. That is against this. So in Germany, I wasn't. That's why German. So they were against Putin, and I attended this protest. I had some speech also there. I spoke the same words, supported Ukraine and supported. They told me also freedom for Georgia. Then after I was already in Poland. Then I returned to Berlin, and I told you already that in Berlin was a big protest action in front of embassy of Russia. There were some activists. They were roughing Russia is a terrorist state. No negotiation with Russia, and very many things. Yeah.
And what was the most stuck for you? The most impressive thing?
Interesting thing in this journey, you mean? Maybe this Berlin protest action was very interesting because it was biggest emotion. But most of all, how Ukrainian people met me.
In Europe, you mean?
In Ukraine,
Ukraine.
I was already very tired because I lost some time, and if at first I began with 20 kilometers a day, then at last in Ukraine I need 40 kilometers a day, and then 45 and then 50, and I could not do because I was wearing a big trolley, 60 kilograms trolley, and maximum speed was 3 hours, maximum speed, and so all the day I should move and move and move. I had no time for sleep, and I had no energy. But people, you know, I had nothing written on my flex or on my trolley, Brussels to Kiev, nothing, because I don't want just to take attention. That's why I was wearing just only flex and trolley, and people were coming to me with Slava Ukraine, Slava Gruzi, and very emotional, very friendly. They spoke with me. I took also some videos, but in videos their emotions can't record because it was live, very interesting. And after people do that kind of things, I can't be tired. I have no possibility to be tired. You understand? These emotions you go to all in. Then
this is Ukraine.
Yes, and then I realized that people in Georgia, some people, there are some also natural people who are trollists who are against this everything good things, and they speak. Ukrainian people will not see this movement, will not see, but in the contrary. What I saw in Ukraine, it was another life. And I don't think that war is the reason. I think that this flame in the hearts of Ukrainians was always, but in this war maybe bigger.
And final question about your journey.
Okay.
How does it feel like to start a 2,000 kilometers journey and finally reach your goal?
Yes, so of course this can be sentimental, and not only because that I finished, but just because the second time we are on Maidan, and the first time I was there, it was just because my uncle was died in this war, and I remember all those memories. This was the biggest pain in my heart before my father this year died. These 8 years, it was the biggest pain for me. And when I entered Maidan, then it was very sentimental for me, just because I finished my long movement, and also for this that I remember those memories about my uncle. But I recorded video, no sentiments, no emotions, because this is nothing. This was to me what I do, and this is nothing. I will do everything, always everything what is to me. Now I am beginning a new movement where you people should support the fairness, Georgia, the Ukraine, and we should gather our products, not only me who against this problem. Very many people, but we are alone. We are not together. And with this movement, with this platform, the Zombie Nation, I try to create something new platform where all the people fighting against this unfairness gathered together. And now I told, no emotions, no sentiments. We should continue this. It was just first step.
So, sorry. Let's talk about. We need to correct a microphone. Да, кинь, будь ласка. Ти просто кинь, господи. Ні, ну так не треба. Це буде too much. Thank you very much. So let's talk about you. Georgia is a country of family traditions, and tell me about your family. Who influenced you the most during your childhood?
About my family,
Yep.
yes, I have family, my own family now also, and as I told, my uncle was also my big family. What are you asking? My own little family or just friends?
Your family when you was a child. Who
My
raised?
father,
Who
my
raised
father,
you?
my father, my mother. My father is just died. He was agreed with my ideas, not like this crazy idea. My father always called me Don Quixote. Yes, because I am always fighting against windstorms. Yes, these trip stocks are Don Quixote arm because
Yeah, it looked like.
I'm speaking. I'm from quantum physics, and there unfairness has the face of windstorm, and I see in this windstorm some zombie viruses. And also there is written the zombie nation, and I'm fighting against windstorms because there are some zombie viruses, and after I win over them, fairness will win over the evil. So. Okay. And my father always tried to call me Don Quixote, and not only my father, some people who I met in this moment also called me Don Quixote. And once I was fighting in professional boxing, I'm not fighter, just after I saw my government is not supporting you guys enough, there we have my family name is Koki Kobachidze. There in government we have another Kobachidze, who is the grounder of Georgian Dream Party, and I fought there just because after fight to say I am a good Kobachidze and we Georgian people should gather together for fairness and freedom. And I knew that I would knocked out. I was knocked out after second round, yes, of course. But this was against unfairness, and there my name was Don Quixote because I'm fighting against some, not that guy, but against some unfairness.
You mentioned before a few times about your uncle. As I know, your uncle died here in Ukraine in conflict zone in
Yes.
2015.
2015.
Tell me about your uncle and how does his death affect you?
It was my relative, normal uncle, and I friended with him just the last days before he came to Ukraine. And he was not just a soldier, but he was fighting philosophically against unfairness. He was 17 years old when he went to Abkhazia, occupied by Russia, in 1989 or 1990. And after this war, in 2008, he also wanted to participate in Georgia, but very quickly it stopped. I also wanted there as a volunteer, but it ended very quickly. And after this war began, 2013, my uncle went there, and before these days he was with me speaking about what is fairness, what is unfairness. We had some philosophical friendship, and my one profession is filmmaking also. I am working now about screen. I want, however, create a film about he is a hero of two countries, not Georgian and not Ukrainian hero, but hero of fairness. This is not, I'm speaking twice, this is not a war between two countries. Between two countries is all the time happening. This is fairness and unfairness. My uncle was always against unfairness. This is the problem.
Продовжуємо? Відійдіть, будь ласка. Трошки Просто відійдіть, будь ласка, трошки, потрапляйте в кадр. Відійдіть, будь ласка, трошки.
Можете підійти в інший бік.
Ви можете от обійти?
Ось так.
Ось через мостик.
Хочете, будь ласка, сідайте. Вибачте, ви заважаєте працювати. Ви можете обійти і все буде гаразд. Не балакають, розмовляють мовою.
Совесть надо мать и вежливо балакать.
Wow. So I won't speak about this head. These two things are presents of Ukrainian people.
We will talk about it later.
Okay, but I wanted this.
Okay, I remember it.
Okay.
Все?
Так, все, це я
And at what point did you begin to be active in politics?
In my country, never was a situation, political or economical situation, so good that we people are satisfied. And I had always to protest, but after this war, I mean just a big part of this war. Of course, we had 2008, we had 2014, but after 2022, it was just, I don't know English how it is, it was a red point.
Line, red point.
Red line, it
Yeah.
was a red line. After this, it is a historical moment where you should decide where is fairness and where is unfairness. For me personally, and I hope for everyone, this is the main point of life. Fairness, love, kindness, what's more?
But this is probably the culmination of your political activism. And what was your first protest like?
Nothing. First protest was that I was a student of filmmaking, and I was doing some little short films when I was student about working problems, about human rights there in Georgia. And this was just, of course, a very big protest, but I didn't stop everything in my life. That time I stopped, I quit my job, stopped studying. Also, I had problem with my bank. Everything I reached, I go to all in, because this is everything. But before this war, there were also very big problems, yes.
On August 24, you recorded a video, you mentioned it before, from Maidan Nezalezhnosti here in Kiev, and you say that today I am Ukrainian.
Yes.
What did you mean? What does it for you to be Ukrainian?
I should say that now I'm not alone in my platform. I'm very happy that there are also some people who understand what I'm doing, and one person, friend, I have not yet met him, but one person now, my friend, advised me, this is thing what Kennedy done, what Kennedy told in Berlin. Today I am Berliner. Then Berlin was the main city of the world. Now Kiev is this. And I was speaking all this time, I'm moving by foot from Brussels to Kiev just to say on the independence of Ukraine. Today I'm Ukrainian, and also these words I told in this protest action in Berlin, that in Georgia, nobody came in 2008, no Angela Merkel, nobody came and told, today I am Georgian. That's why we in Georgia have now so damned government. And now people should go to Kiev and say we are Ukrainian, and every people who has fairness in their hearts should think and should feel that this time he or she is Ukrainian, because Ukraine now is not just a country, this is fairness.
So 24th of February was kind of turning point in your life, and I remember this day minute by minute because I was here in Kiev. And I want to ask you, what do you remember about August 7, 28, when Russia invades Georgia?
I should say that that time for my life, it was very emotional. I was not a child, but I was very young, and I had some philosophical problems. I was thinking, what is the problem of what is fundamental problems of the world, and all the time I was drunk, because this is not alcohol just to feel happy. No, I was drinking because I was thinking. This was my philosophy. My first time when I began asking some questions to the humanity.
And you were looking for an answer.
This was questions to the culture. I'm drinking alcohol and think, what is the problem? So this goes very deep. So this goes to go vegan world, this goes to free love world, and we now don't have time for this. But after this, I of course stopped every alcohol, and then this war was just in this time. So that's why I did not begin my anything. I just began to take part like volunteer, but it stopped quickly. Then after this war, I stopped, as I said, drinking alcohol, and I decided, I'm swimmer, not swimmer, swimming is for me also philosophy. Mm-hmm. I decided to swim through Georgian territorial sea. This is 120 kilometers against occupation. Before it ends in Georgia, in Abkhazia. It's 300 kilometers, but now half, because another half is occupied. And I wanted to swim till that place, but nobody was interested in this, and I don't want to talk about this. It's not important now for us.
So you literally don't remember what you was doing August 7, 28. If
Yes,
I'm right.
I remember. I went there. I want to participate in this war as volunteer.
As a volunteer, not
Well,
as a soldier.
Not as a soldier. I was not soldier. I was a normal student or not student, but in that year I stopped master of law, and that's why I had not to go to soldier. It wasn't my duty, but I wanted it as a volunteer.
A year ago, many people in Ukraine didn't believe that Russia would dare of a full-scale invasion. And I want to ask you if there was the same scene in Georgia,
We didn't believe what that Russia
that
can.
Russia would dare to do that, to make a full-scale invasion.
People.
How
I-
was it in Georgia?
2008.
Yep.
I couldn't believe also this because I'm in 1880 when the first time Abkhazia was occupied, Abkhazia and Ossetia. I was a very little child. In 2008, I could not imagine that Russia is so evil country. I could not imagine when people told it is war has begun. I was thinking, oh, you are joking.
Just like we did.
Yes, nobody can, but then everybody can see that it's normal now.
And how does it happen that after that war, after all those killings, after effective occupation of Georgia territory by Russia, Russian influence in Georgia end up strongest?
I can't. So I can't. I'm here with my microphones. I can stand up. There I have Hulk boxing. I don't know the word. All the time this is my emotion. This is my struggle. I hate this Georgian government because they're shit. They're zermo. I don't know why do they. How people who have heard how they can this. You see that I can't speak English now because it's my native. I need now my Georgian language to express my emotions. I can't live in my government because they are not supporting Ukraine as they like. Because if they speak the truth that they are supporting Ukraine, then Georgian people will make revolution. But they all the time lie, we are supporting Ukraine, but they did not underline that Russia is a terrorist. They did not do this. It was one of the main points of this red line. Why they did not underline?
Okay, I understand your emotion.
Excuse me. English is not my native speaking.
Yeah.
I'm very emotional. That's
I'm understanding your emotion, but do you have a version why people in Georgia voted for this government?
Before this, I thought that Georgian people also hate national movement because they're in national movement also not that kind of shit, not that kind of international shit did the national party, but they also did not govern fair. There were also unfairness in the people. They had too much power. If you were not a national movement, member of national movement, then you have had some problems. That's why people have right to hate this oppositional party. People have right, but I can't compare this party to this government. Of course, national movement is not a good party, but this government is the biggest evil of every time in Georgia.
But Georgian people voted for these people.
Because they hated a national party. And
They
hated
were voting
national
against.
Party. Yes, I always ask, why you came? What was the reason that you are now government? Because they told nothing to Georgian people about themselves. They just only told a national party is dumb. Yes, people hated national party, and their all narratives, their all promises was just national party is bad, national party only this. And yes, of course, the national party, and especially last year's was bad, had made very big problems. But this party, this government, in some years we see that they have problems too. And in this war now, as I said at first, I wanted to join as a volunteer here in 2022. But in 1 month, I saw Garibashvili came and said, we are not joining sanctions, financial sanctions. Proud, he was proud speaking this. Then all the Georgian people gathered in the square, Rustaveli square there, and told, fuck off, Garibashvili. Georgian people love, Ukraine hate this government, but they also hate national movement, and that's why people can't change anything. That's why I'm Don Quixote, that's why I'm crazy thing do, that we normal people can't do this. What to do, the politicians know. They know nothing, how to lie, how to use hidden monies. They are not just allies and know anything. But we normal people can also create something new political platform. And we need belief in this. We need belief, and then we gather our skills, and we can change something. Of course, not a very big percent of chance, but we should fight for every little chance, for even 1% chance, if it's about fairness.
And how do you think, with all this Russian influence now in Georgia, is Georgia a free country?
I could.
Пауза, секунду. Во-первых, вытерли софт.
I told you it's everywhere.
Yeah, you became very emotional, but I understand you. I am actually feeling pretty much the same about events in Georgia, because I was in Georgia once, and it's a beautiful country and beautiful people, and I don't understand how it's end up in this way.
Thank you very much. Because of the noise, I couldn't understand.
Yeah. I understand.
They asked. What if the Russian army?
No, it's not about Russian army. I will retake this question.
Так,
Все, можем.
да.
How do you think, with all this Russian influence now in Georgia, can we call Georgia a free country? Is
Without
Georgia
Russian
free
influence.
today?
Without Russian influence, of course, Georgian people will be free.
But now, with this influence, is Russia a free country? Georgia a free country?
No, it is not free country. It is. There is a big influence there, and people understand what there is happening. But we have this problem. They also hate all oppositional party, because in propaganda, if you speak anything against government, you are Nazis. That's why I'm speaking. I am not Nazi. I'm a normal guy. This is the problem, the biggest problem with Georgia.
What is your opinion on Mikhail Saakashvili activity?
Mikhail Saakashvili, I think it's personal. I was never politician, and I have no big knowledge, but I think Mikhail Saakashvili has some problems, and I think did something criminal. I think he did something criminal, but Georgia should agree with the fact that Saakashvili is the best ever Georgian president, because he made the best thing of Georgia before. Unfortunately, because he wasn't very good, but unfortunately he was best if we compare him to others. That's why if he now in prison, I don't want to die, but if Georgian people in the history will be written that Saakashvili was just evil, it will not be fairness, because we should speak truth. Saakashvili did very many very important things. He was a very talented person, and now it is unfairness in this problem. Maybe just in laws, maybe he made something criminal, and yes, maybe he should not send to prison, but it is unfairness in this world politician situation. He to be in prison. He is a biggest Ukrainian, not biggest, so one is a big Ukrainian citizen, and of course, in this situation, Georgia having Saakashvili in prison, this means that Georgia is hidden against the Western world.
And how do you think, what was his main mistake during his career?
I think his main mistake is in his psychology. It's my personal
I'm
psychology.
asking about it.
He wants that he's in the center of everything. I think for him everything, he was really very talented, but he could not realize that not only he is there, and he wanted everything to be ordered around of him. I think this is my problem.
Anyway, today Georgian authorities, in fact, killing Mikhail Saakashvili. They mock him in
think
prison.
they don't want that Mikhail Saakashvili is killed.
But we see the pictures of him, and he looks very bad. It's obvious.
Yes, what I say, if he died in prison, we should understand that Georgian movement don't want this. Then it will be very bad for him. But they won't keep him. They won't keep him till the end so bad, but not kill.
But my question is, why Georgian people are silent? Why Georgian people are silent now? This mocking of Saakashvili in prison. We don't see any big meetings or some maybe movement.
I have already told you. People hate national movement. People don't love you, Saakashvili. There are very little person who love Saakashvili. I also don't love Saakashvili. I always say truth. Since 22nd February 2013, I have never lied. I don't love Saakashvili, but I should speak as always truth. Saakashvili did very big for Georgia, but no, not very. Most of people don't like him. Most of people hate him also, because he also made some mistakes.
So back to February.
Секундочку, извиняюсь, нам пауза нужна, мы пытаемся перекрыть, потому что да.
Я це відчуваю. They need to cover the sun, because it will be bad for the final product. But I was in Batumi and it 2019 or something like that, and I met a lot of people who was talking to me, and they said Saakashvili is good. We are waiting him to come back.
That's why I say some percent of people love them, and they are so-called Nazis. Most of people hate them, and that's why they are always so-called two-partial politics. Nazis and Kotsis in Georgian. This is Kotsis because Kots, this means Georgian dream. In Georgian language, this is Georgian dream people. The Nazis are national movement people. They are only two people, Nazis and Kotsis. This is the problem. Normal people don't like know them. Most of the people not hate, but not are nihilistic to politicians. They don't believe nobody. This is the problem. There is no power to believe, to trust for normal Georgian people.
And there is not so many variants to choose in Georgia, if I understand correctly.
There are parties, but as I said, there is a big propaganda that every oppositional party is national movement. This is propaganda of Georgian dream of government. I made a rap. I am not singer, as I am not fighter, but as I boxed, that's why I made.
Там буквально 10 хвилин. So let's continue back to February 24. Okay. When you learned from the news what's happening, what did you feel? What was your thoughts at that moment?
The previous night, just 23rd night, I was looking at this picture in my television, translated to Georgian, how Putin was speaking, Ukraine is created by Russia, and if you don't like Lenin, I will show you in all the territories of Ukraine how Russia will react, response to this. At this moment, at this second, I stopped my television. I called my wife and told, listen to me. The war will begin. I am sure in this because I was looking at in his eyes, and I was sure he was with a will. He was ready to begin this. Next day, I was working. As a lifeguard. And all the 24 hours I should work. And that day I was to work. And my wife is calling me, and Kiev is bombing. It was the biggest shock of my life. I knew this, I felt this, but it was already real fact. At the second day, at the second night, I have just decided to come here as a volunteer. But before I come, I went there in my village. It was winter, my lake was frozen, and I, with the Ukrainian flag, I went in this lake, frozen lake, breaking this ices with the flag. I was speaking, this ice is Russia, and all the people from all over the world should break this ice. And with this motivated video, I wanted to come here as a soldier. But then, as I told you, first army told me that they wanted only war experienced people, and second reason that soon I saw that my government didn't join sanctions, then they did not underline that Russia is terrorist state, and there I changed my decision and not combat, but ideological struggle I began.
You have a wife?
Yes.
And how is she about your activism?
No, of course, everybody, also my mother, my father is died, and my mother is very nervous that I was here. I came 3 months underway in the streets. It's also stress for them, but this is my wife, my life, and
but they are supporting you.
Ideological. I don't even answer this question, of course. I can't live with a person who is not against Russia. I have friends who are in Georgian dream, childhood friends, and I also, of course, I will not hate them because they are friends. I love them, but I can't be friends with them. I asked the same question I asked to the Ukrainian people who met. Have you had friends from Russia who don't agree with Ukraine, that who thinks that Russia has right? Yes, they told. One told I have brother, one told I have mother, children, so relatives that they think that Putin is. We answered, I am in Ukraine and you agree with Putin and not me. Okay, then fuck off. That's also here in my life. If person don't agree with me, I will love him, I will love her. Okay, this is feelings, emotions, heart, but I can't be friend with them. So.
You founded your own political platform, the Zombie Nation.
Because
it's on your short. What an idea of this moment.
Okay, as I told, Z.
We understand it.
Z, it's Ukrainian, also Zla, but no English, Zombie Nation. I wrote this before this war because it's also a political, not only political, but also some philosophy. It has its depth and its levels, the Zombie Nation. But introduction is that Z is Zombie Nation and the world needs the Zombie Nation. And not only world, Russia, in Georgia, some people also. That's why this movement, the name of this movement and the name of this platform is the Zombie Nation.
And how do you see the future of this platform? They're asking you to wipe your face one more time. Do you have a napkin? It's important for them.
When I was, in army, I had no duty to serve in army because of my study. I have also already done. I had already done with army, and then after 2008, I joined the army as a volunteer because I wanted to learn fighting. And then I told you, but during this Rangers course, we are learning so fighting, combating. Instructors always had problem with me because my sweat was like I was swimming in the rivers, and after this I continued really swimming in because they didn't believe me.
It's just normalizing, no problem at all. So about the Zombie Nation, what is the future of your platform? How do you think? How do you see it in the future?
So I will. As I said, people can't believe that a normal guy can create something political platform. But I say this is not political party. This is platform. What is platform? This is something new. We are between organizations, between people who struggle. We try to gather them. Not only me. There are many people who struggle against this. Influencers, immigrants, many other organizations against, for example, working hours who fight against for human rights. I want to contact with all the people, also with every individual, and ask him or her. Let's gather together, have just one platform, and then why is not it possible to create something new? Politicians don't know anything, something majestic. They are just normal people. They all know only how to lie. But we persons, we have also our skills. For example, me, I have also some skills. I am not only a mover and a runner and swimmer. Also, my profession was I'm master of law. Also, I almost master of American studies. This in my platform I have also a philosopher. He's a very good person. Agree with my opinions, and he's now in master of philosophy. Also, there we have another lawyer, another doctor. We are already people, and we will contact to the other people who have also skills. We will go and ask professionals, lectors, doctors, and ask for what to do, and also.
But now you are alone.
No, already I began it alone. I began it alone with just recording videos. But then people looked at these videos where I am not only moving, but speaking 4 conceptions. People should gather around 4 conceptions. First conception is just orientation to Western world, because not ideal is in this world, nothing is ideal, but best comparing with others is Western world. Second is against nepotism. Third conception is working conditions, and fourth is human rights. Why human rights? Because all this war is grounded now on homophobia, as Kirill says, Western world is just gay parade. This is LGBT. Fascism is, when I was in Brussels, on the building of Euro Parliament, there is a big picture where there are 10 men with yellow clothes, and I was wearing sunglasses. I told this is gay resistant sunglasses, and I see those 10 men with yellow clothes, they are making now gay party, and then without these sunglasses I told, hey, fuck off, Kirill, fuck off, you fascism, you this propaganda. They are just workers. This is so. LGBTs, people are schizophrenic to this article, and they use as if Western world is just gay parade. That's why human rights are most important philosophical ground of this war, how to defeat this evil.
So, and why do you believe that one person can achieve this great goal to make a platform for a lot of people
That's why,
with
yes,
such values? What
most
gives you
of
the
people,
power to believe?
As I told, most of people don't believe this because I'm just one people, but I will not be one. I always say I am one. I am one who move, who boxing, who swimming, but I am speaking. This platform is not just my platform. This is platform who is gathering people who already do the same things. Thousands of people do the same thing like me. Many organizations and platforms are in Georgia doing the same struggle. And I speak, people, if you don't want just to be alone and strong and have many followers, why should not you gather? I don't want to be one and a special one. No, I want to gather and be one of them. That's why I believe in this, that we can together create something new. And we are very many people like this.
How is it possible to join your platform? Is there...
So, as I said, after I return to Georgia, I will also official in Justice House ground my this organization. But second is social networks, that people see that our content, our product is somewhere in one space. You see, for example, another person like me speaks the same. 10 persons like this, 10 persons in 5 organizations, and their product, their videos, their protest actions, imagine in one platform, social network. And then people look at this, that they are not the same, they have other opinions about other things, but in these 4 conceptions, they gather together and they are already one big power. And they can be changeable. I think this is normal word, I am not sure, but in Georgian sounds good. Changeable. What does it mean? If we just speak, oh no, to this government, this is nothing, this is just word. We can't change anything. But if we are together, this is changeable. I always remember just one, it was like father is dying and he has some little stocks and give these stocks to his children, and every child can break this stock. But then father gives them many stocks together and they can't break them. This is all the time. So I am, of course I can do that. I can, with my own energy and motivation and crazy things, create some emotional charge. I can, one person I can this, emotional charge. But then I can do, of course, nothing. But when we gather together, and it's of course possible, if we believe this, then of course it's possible. Believe it.
Okay. Why do you think it's important for Georgia to change its course, to be more supportive for Ukraine, to give more support for us?
Most of all, for me personal, the most important thing in life is not just to have result, that we are rich, that we have power. For me, it is not important thing. For me, is fairness important. And if Ukraine lose, if we will not exist, even in this case, I don't want to live without justice and without fairness. But now, if a person comes and thinks that for me fairness is not so important, the main is that we should win and we should be strong. In this case also, we see that because Ukrainian people have so strong heart and motivation and so energy, because of this Ukraine wins, we see that, and double fairness also, and also win. And why? Why should anyone decide to Russia? Why? He should have no brain. He should have no fairness in the head. For me, only fairness is enough. But also, this is also will take good economic and political result for us. And I don't know, it will be difficult to me to explain now, but my premier just now negotiated with China, strategical partnership. I think this is a big mistake because in the long history, we with this decision move slower and slower. Better is Russia, of course. But first, I think this is a hidden Russian partnership, hidden as if we are partner of China and in the reality we are partner of Russia. It's hidden, but if it's real and we really real partner of China, in this case also this is a big problem because China with human rights, with work rights, with anything fairness is not like Western world. I don't idealize Western world. I told this is philosophy. Yes, I told some.
It's not Georgian world, you mean? It's like other civilization, not Georgian world, China.
Yes, but maybe there, because of this LGBT propaganda, maybe the Georgian people think that China is better. But this is worse because we should realize that LGBT propaganda is not that, oh, they are coming and raping us. We should realize that it is human rights that they can also live. And if Georgian people, that's why it's so dangerous, China partnership. The Georgian people will think that in China there is no LGBT propaganda and so we are closer. No, in the Western world there is no propaganda. They are just trying to defend human rights and nothing more. And we should realize this. Human rights is other and propaganda is other.
And it's important to remember that this is an old political technology to create some symbols of people who are not like you, who are your enemy because of whatever. LGBT because they are short, because they are tall. It's not a problem at all.
Yes.
And during all our interview, you were holding this hat.
Yes, all the time.
So why it's so important?
So I wanted it so. Excuse me, people. This is our presents. These are presents of Ukrainian people who I met in the streets. I met very many hundreds of Ukrainian people who supported me, hugged me, motivated me. One of them gave me this, second of them this, and after that all the time I wear them on my head because it's also with this I always remember my uncle because his last photo was with these two flags, and in my memories this is image of my uncle, and also image of now today's situation.
Koki, thank you very much for the
Thank
interview.
you very
It was
much.
a great pleasure
Wish
to
you
meet you
good.
and
Slava Ukraini,
to
yeah.
Heroям Slava.